Hello, hello. Welcome to today's messages. Let's get into it after we tune in. Let's tune in. Tune in to tap in, to turn on our connection. Yes. Yes. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Let's see if there are any messages for us. There are always messages. There are always messages for us. We just have to be in a receiving mode to receive them. We have to be open. We have to be connected. We have to have clarity and discernment. The ability to be like, aha, yes, that is a message. That is a message for me, right? What do we got here? Ooh. Swirling vortex. I think this is intention, maybe. Let's see. Test my memory. Third wave. Okay, it's not. My memory is not so good. Okay, third wave. The energy of third wave makes you aware of your choice to be here on Earth. Accept who you are on this Earth, and your strength will increase. And that's exactly it, right? When what we feel, what we believe, what we think is. So if you think you weak, you weak. You think you strong, right? You think you're capable, you're capable. You think you cannot, you cannot. So, you being here on this earth at this time to choose love, to anchor love. This is a love channel. We're the high vibe tribe here. And so, you're choosing love on a regular basis. That's part of your power, right? Recognize this. This is huge work. And you implement your love choosing in your everyday choice making, everyday interactions, every moment, every thing that comes across your path, how you choose to engage with it. You're either choosing love or fear, right? And every time you choose love, you are anchoring, helping to anchor that love frequency in. That's the most important work. That's the work of the angels. Okay, that stack is way too big, but we got messages coming in from your higher self, right? The owl always represents that connection to the divine, goddess energy, protection. Okay, we've got Othala, which is beautiful in this recognition of you being on this earth at this time, because Othala speaks about a legacy, basically, like what you leave behind, right? Look At the beautiful home of the little hermit crab. Look at the beautiful home the little hermit crab has inherited from the crab that came before him. If each generation treats this shell with delicacy and contributes their own positive acts of care, upkeep, and enhancement, the ancestral property will remain strong and give strength to the lineage going forward. Othala asks you to look at your place in time and space, both in the terms of inheritance coming to you and the inheritance that you will leave behind. It calls for the wise management of resources, home inheritance, group prosperity, heritage, and ancestors. Yes. So it's all linked, right? Like your specific generational um, woundings and baggage and patterns and karmic loops that were passed on. This was all part of the grand plan. We were all meant to play our specific roles during our time. And this choosing love, this being here now to anchor in the love frequency, this is the kind of work that we're leaving for the next generations to pick up, to contribute to carry on with, right? And so it's like, um, you're not trashing your home because you have in the back of your mind the fact that this is something that you are going to pass on to the next generation. And you want them to thrive. You want them to survive. You want them to build upon and things to keep getting better. And so your engagement in your now is fueled with this projected mindset of inheritance, right? And so you are being you're taking care. You're not taking shortcuts. You're making sure you're using materials that are going to last for a long time. You see my little witch broom I made? I tried to make. I was figuring out how to tie and stuff. But it's a good one for just us tidying up around here. Anyways, okay. Exactly that. Keep things neat and tidy, right? Invest in the quality materials that you build and rebuild with so that it is lasting a long time, long lasting for the generations to come. And so with this love frequency anchoring, right, we want to contribute to the building of a world that is predominantly love based. We want that for our family, our ancestry. We want our ancestors, our children's children's children to live a life of love and joy and peace and not of torment and all of those other things on the other side. And this may help with your decision making when you are aware that it's not just you, right? It's not just about you. It's about all along the path, and also like your healing of karmic and ancestral wounds that were passed on generation as also part of your inheritance. You are not only healing for you, and so that those things don't need to be dealt with by the next generation, but you're also healing the ancestral souls linked to those loops, right? Like our ancestors are there with us, going, knowing the full scope, understanding everything now that they're transitioned. And so they're all cheering you on from the sidelines, being like, yes, do the thing that I didn't know to do, that I couldn't do, that I wasn't able to do, whatever the case may be, right? Okay. Okay. Let's see what cards come out for us as we dive into our being here now and the things that we leave behind. Our footprints. Our footprints. Okay. Let's see what tarot card is going to come out. To support this inheritance, this legacy, this acknowledgement of you on earth at this time. Okay, well, there's going to be some energy moving, some movement of energy. Okay. The third wave. There's your experience, right? Old versions of you, leading you along your pathway to your intuition, to your inner knowing, to your higher self. We've got all of the old things in the past that held you back. Okay, this is also part of your experience. So it's something about your experience and your freedom, freeing of yourself, right? The tens, this is a 10 of swords. Tens represent the ends. Tens are the ends of an old cycle. And it's like also like the death of the old way. And then you start at one again, right? And so then it's the new, it's the birth of the new. The swords here, this is like, look at this person's pinned down, held back, right? And also most of the swords have been removed. There's just some, a couple residuals that are holding. So your experience here, and I feel like this is also giving me ancestral. That's part of what exactly what I was talking about, right? Releasing of ancestral woundings and hurts and baggages. And the freeing up of this is what is enabling energy to move. Think of it as you being stuck for so long and then finally you're free. It's like when you wear weights on your ankles for a while and then when you take them off, suddenly your legs feel super like they're just going to float away, right? And so there's this lightness that creates speed. You're walking faster, you're running faster, you're jumping higher, right? Because you have released those weights. And something about wisdom collected along your path, right? Which is also, our experiences are portals to wisdom. So every opportunity that you get to revisit something from the past, an old version, an old timeline, an old way of doing, being, seeing, considering, you are afforded the opportunity to pluck the gold, the wisdom out of those moments, out of those experiences, and retain them. Let go of the old things. That's what having access to memory, to the past, that's how it's supposed to serve us, is for the gold, for the wisdom. And we get caught up in trying to hold it, trying to relive it, trying to be there, trying to recreate, right? And these are all traps, these are all pitfalls that hold us back, that keep us from flowing forward. And the more you experience these things, the more you see these things, right? It hopefully. Oh. Oh. Releasing and purging. That's throat chakra stuff. Yeah, and ancestrally not being able to speak, and now being able to speak. Okay. Okay. This moon keeps wanting to come out. Okay, there's some things that aren't left or aren't meant to be seen all at once. With the moon, it's giving me the gradual revelation, right? The new moon, everything's darker, you can't see, right? And then as the moon gets bigger, things start to become more visible. So this is divine timing. And things hidden, secrets, and unhealed or healing wounds of the heart. Okay, and this is also giving me ancestral. We have genetic memory, right? We have tendencies that we carry forward, like being claustrophobic or not liking to have things tight around your neck. Well, this can be a genetic memory of something in the past where you were confined or trapped or strangled or right, there's links. And so part of doing the healing work is finding the core of things. Is this in my lifetime or is this in a past lifetime? And this excavation period that is healing, this is that opportunity to heal as well as mine the wisdom to move, to help you move forward. Okay, so, but also like in real lifetime, right? Like having your heart stabbed and used and abused. These are things, and I'm also getting like shame. Shame is one. Shame was something that I recognized in my own son as an ancestral inheritance that he picked up, because there was nothing. He had it like as a baby, basically. He would hide when he would go number two. When he was like, little and in his diaper, like a year old or whatever, and he would hide behind things and be like, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Right. And like, where's he getting that from? We weren't ever like, ew, look at you, you're pooping or whatever. We were always just like, yay, you're doing it or whatever. But Um, and anyways, just observing him as he grew and stuff like that, and me learning about ancestral patterns and other things that we are picking up and integrating into ourselves, thinking that they are part of who we are, but really they're residual lingerings from past, from generations before. And so, yes, something about past wounds and then the ways we behave because of them, right? When you are tired of getting your heart broken, you start building up defenses to avoid those heartbreaks, right? But it's like, I just was like being a bull walking into a china shop and constantly breaking things. And we keep walking into china shops and breaking things. And it's this recognition that we're bulls. We're not supposed to be in china shops, right? And so we stop going in there. We don't need to go in there. That was a weird analogy, but like as a defense mechanism. So it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm a bull and I keep walking into china shops and I keep breaking things and I don't want to break things. So I'm going to cover myself in pillows. So hopefully if I bump into something, it won't break. Oh, that doesn't work. And, we're doing all these things trying to conform ourselves into an environment that just isn't appropriate for us. I don't know where I was going with that, but it's about finding your root, recognizing who you really are and making sure to give yourself the things that you need, right? You need to be running wild in a field. And I don't know what bulls do, mating all the cows. I don't know. Okay. Not all my analogies work, but I trust that, maybe my non-working analogy triggers something in you that makes something work for you. And that's what it's all about. I'm just the messenger. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. So I love that the Queen of Cups is coming out after this wounded heart, because this is this recognition of healing, of self self love, self maintenance, right? The Queen of Cups, she has been working on herself, on filling her cup, right? This is kind of like all of these versions, these old versions of self, all these cups, right? And then getting to a place where you're like, okay, this is the one. This is the cup that can actually hold liquid sunshine, that can and is ready and available to share. Um, she's also very creative, compassionate, confident, flowing, going with the flow. Okay, so this is a grounding in your being, in your heart space. So now, because of how these cards are laid, I'm getting like this energy being free through your past experiences and your releasing of limiting beliefs and old ways of doing things, and that effect that it has on your wounds, on your heart, and it contributing to your empowerment. Okay. Oh, this one. This is that looking within, the self-reflection. Okay, taking the time, quiet space to go within, to look at those things within us. Where is this coming from, right? Is this mine? Where is this coming from? Why do I do these things? Where does that come from? Where in the past, right? I have an abandonment wound. Well, where and how have I experienced abandonment throughout my life? And it's kind of like a tracing back your steps, right? As far back as you can go. This is also about that reclamation, the finding the wisdom in those moments, and an opportunity for you to experience it from a different perspective, those moments, right? Those moments of abandonment. And acknowledging them. So, say the scenario was you really needed your caregiver to give you attention or to acknowledge your feelings, right? And in that moment that you needed it, they weren't able to give it to you for whatever reason, either blatant neglect, right? Or they were just preoccupied with something else, they were out of town, whatever the case may be, right? We all have our things. And this isn't about them. This isn't about shifting blame or even placing blame. This is about healing self and finding core wounds. And so we go back to that time and we recognize a point where we didn't receive the thing we needed at that time. And we go back and we acknowledge them. We give that version of ourselves the very thing that we needed in the moment, and thereby healing them, right? It's kind of like finding them and being like, oh, hey, oh, there you are, come back here. And, bringing them into your heart space, right? I see you. I acknowledge you. I see that you needed something and you didn't get it. And it's okay, right? These moments as we're growing up, they can be like little fractures, little soul fractures. And every time we go back, every time we look into and acknowledge those parts, it's like reclaiming little pieces of the fracture, right? Making us more whole. Okay, so we've got this grounding and centering. This is that connection. The staff is running from the earth, and we've got the moon there, your intuition. It also, the top of the staff kind of looks like an eye, right? So there's your third eye connection. And this quieting of yourself in order to tap in, to receive, to also ground, right? So this is a representation of your process of going within, of finding those pieces and reintegrating them back into the heart space. Okay, because, well, this is the legacy card. This is exactly all the efforts leading to abundance, to stuff that you're leaving behind, right? So, we've got the generations here all around this tree. And this tree was maybe planted by your ancestors, by the generations before you, right? And this careful tending. And sometimes, sometimes one generation, there was a freaking whirlwind, or what do you call those? A tornado. And it almost ripped that tree right out. And then it had a few years of dormancy when it was, trying to survive. And maybe all that generation could do that year was just throw water on it every once in a while, right? And your generation, you've figured out, you've collected enough of the pieces, you've done something that this generation is sprouting blooms, sprouting abundance. You're starting to see the fruits of your labor, but also generationally. And like this tree that'll stand as long as it's left, it will continue to produce beautiful love blooms for all the generations to come, right? Okay, this is the goal we want to get to. We want to get to a position where we are creating a positive feedback loop that starts to generate positive flow and energy towards the good stuff. And so it's about self contemplation, recognition, and release of those old ways, and a tending and mending of the heart space. Your heart space is the center of your electromagnetic field. And so it is the most important, right? When we have a wounded heart, we have a discordant resonance. And so by healing the heart, we start to produce a more harmonious resonance that affects everything in our vicinity, affects what we draw towards us, and all of the above. Okay, this is the path of the magician and your ability to alchemize. And that's kind of what you're doing when you revisit, when you find, when you reach a core and you pick it up and you give it love, you dust it off, you reintegrate it back into your heart space. You are alchemizing the pains of the past and turning it into a beautiful fuel for your future. It's like all those weights, all those heavy things that we carry around, when we heal them, when we fill them with love, we turn them into hot air balloons that we attach to our basket, and it helps us to lift. This is alchemy, right? It's the changing of one thing into another thing, but it's also an upgrade, right? We've got lead turned into gold, right? It's a big upgrade. Okay. And then we've got fire sparks. Fire sparks. Okay, so this is that newness here, which is beautiful because we did talk about the tens being the ends, and then it starts at one again, right? And ones are aces in the tarot deck. And we've got the Ace of Wands following this energy that you are contributing to, this forward moving energy as you heal your heart and become confident and a queen of hearts, one who can be in their heart space. And that igniting and birthing the new opportunities, new ways of being, of engaging, right? When you are back to the bull in the china shop, right? You're nervous, you're in the china shop and you're like, don't move too much, don't be too much, don't, no sudden movements, right? Otherwise you're breaking things. But inevitably you end up, because you're not in the right environment. When you are running around in the field, you're free. You don't have to worry about being too much because this is the proper environment for you. There's something about that. So we'll just let it be what it is, okay? But this freedom I'm getting for acknowledging who you are and integrating and healing, freeing you to be everything that you are. Okay, something like that. Okay, I'm just going to take one more here. Okay. So we've got the Two of Cups, which I love the Two of Cups. Okay, so this is the newness. This is why we do this. The heart healing is important, especially if you want to actually be in a loving relationship, any kind, a business, friendship, or life partnership, right? You have to get to this place where you are confident and living from your heart space, being in your heart space to truly be able to love another without all of the debris, without all the baggage, right? Without all the dependency. Going back to the abandonment wound, right? Like, when that isn't healed, we are constantly seeking external validation, other people to hold and care and choose and take us. And this is about healing those wounds so that we are able to, well, and when those are the requirements, you're kind of taking love from anywhere that you're forcing yourself a bull into a china shop, right? And you're going to inadvertently break everybody's stuff. I don't know why that bull in the china shop keeps coming up. Anyways, the Two of Cups is balanced and gorgeous. It's two overflowing cups coming together, right? It's basically like if the King and the Queen of Cups were to put their cups together, they both would supersize because they're supporting each other in an environment that's not based on dependency. It's not based on need in the sense of, I need you to validate me. I need to be with you in order to, because of my own limiting beliefs that I am nothing unless I am with somebody or looking a certain way or whatever we put upon ourselves as requirements, our confinements, right? And this being in this flow state, this healed heart space, you are meeting somebody just like this. Like, yes, I have a cup. Let's see your cup. Oh, well, our cups look pretty good together, right? Let's hang out. Let's see what happens, right? As opposed to, oh, quick, you're a person. Take me, choose me, hold me, care for me. It's a lot. It's a lot for somebody else, especially when they're going through their own stages of healing and holding themselves. Okay, let's go to the oracles. Let's ask the oracles for some clarity on this. So basically, the third wave, this choosing to be here and this inheritance, the work that you do, I think, is very important, because everything that you heal now in this generation doesn't get passed on. just the healing does. When you heal abandonment wounds, the next generation, that's something that they don't have to heal, right? This is why, people say, sometimes people say, you're being selfish because you're shutting me out. You're being selfish because I no longer have access to you whenever I feel like it, is really what it comes down to. Because when we pull away to heal, the people who are supposed to be loved ones in our lives would love and support us in that endeavor. Okay, I'm going to take those two as well. They will love and support us. They will give us the time and space that we need without judgment, without, okay, I feel like you've had enough time, so now you're just being ridiculous. Right? Like, none of this. That's not holding space for somebody. I don't know where I was going with that. Okay, so these two fell down. It's 36 and a 38. Interesting. Spirit Dancer and Laced Moon's Daughter. Both winged creatures. Okay, and then the Singer of Transfiguration also landed upon the moving energy here, the fast moving energy. Okay, fairies. Let's start with 38, apparently. Laced. I don't know how to say that. Laiste. Laced? Laced. Okay. Light cast in shadows, spiritual guidance, illumination, and riddles. She is the bringer of light in the darkness. Yet moonlight both reveals and conceals. Perfect, because we do have this moon card. Her bright fairy hoof prints light the path ahead of you, guiding you through the dark. She is also one of the guides at the passages between the other worlds and this one. It is she who, with her bright light, tends the gate of revelation, showing us the way through by illumination. Yet, in the process of guiding us, Laced may pull a veil of cloud across the face of her mother, the moon, and 3 steps later we fall into a bog. That should wake you up, she thinks, smiling wisely. She disapproves of sleepwalking, which is something that most of us humans do a great deal of. The night contains too much magic and beauty and wisdom to walk through it unseeing. You may find her activities helpful, you may find them frustrating. How you take them is entirely up to you, but they are intended to help you awaken. Bear in mind that she does not trip us, she merely places an obstacle or a pitfall in our path, and we, sleepwalking and unaware, step right into it. We don't have to do that. As always, it is our choice. Laced wants us to be open to the great unknown, to mystical, not necessarily magical experiences that teach us an expanded way to relate to the multiverse, all of the worlds and dimensions together. She is the daughter of the moon, but she is also an illuminated child of unity, where the Laskana, the fog queen, wishes you to get in touch with your unconscious and find the treasures there. Interesting. We were talking about finding the gold in our experiences, right? Lacey hopes you will reach for your higher self, your not yet realized cosmic wisdom. You know far more than you know you know. Okay, you may be finding apparently random events and ideas are falling into a pattern and beginning to make sense to you. Things may be flowing more easily than you are accustomed to, and your decisions and choices may be bringing an unusually high degree of success. Psychic abilities, hunches, intuitions, foreknowings are becoming clearer and making more sense. Trust the process. This is that pickup energy that is happening from your removal of all the limiting beliefs, all the things that hold you back, patterns and ways of thinking, and your going back in and collecting gold from your past experiences, the wisdom. This creates this flow state, this positive, and your ability to receive, which is from the beginning, right? We need to be open to receive in order to find and see the messages that are everywhere for us. Lacey also brings psychic dreams for lighting the future and illuminating the present. These dreams often speak in symbols, as fairies are wont to do. Fairies are wont to do. I don't know what that means. Okay. And 36. Self-expression, freedom, and exploration. Spirit dancer understands both sides of self-expression. In the first stage, we get our inner visions, feelings, and creative impulses out into the world through our art, whatever that is. Then our expressions are reflected back to us from the mirror of other people's perceptions, and we discover what our art awakens in them. Now is the time to focus and really concentrate on a project or process, especially one involving the creative arts. Spontaneity balanced by self-discipline will help us achieve our goals. Strive for elegance and simplicity. This is the time to bring out and share qualities that we have nurtured in private. Okay, and that's another way to heal those versions of self, those wounded versions, right? Like maybe you tried to draw something when you were a kid and you were really proud of it and you showed it to your caregiver and they were like, psh, psh, or talked down or dismissed it or whatever. And it actually shattered a piece of you and you never picked it up or did it again, right? And so this may be a sign to go back and do that for you. I had this recognition of my inner child really wanted cream of wheat, and when I was kind of going through and thinking about ways that I could help to heal my inner child and all this stuff, versions of it, this one popped up and was like, cream of wheat. And it was just such a little thing. But I realized I still, to this day, well, not to this day, because I already did this, but, like a month ago, I still hadn't had cream of wheat. And so I just went and got some and made some. And we pretty much ate cream of wheat every day for a month there. And then I realized, okay, I don't need to make up for all the lost time I didn't have cream. I don't need to have cream of wheat every day. Anyways, that's just a simple little thing. But these acts, they're like a form of ritual. This is also freedom and allowance, like giving yourself permission to express yourself in any way without the fear of someone else not seeing it, not accepting it, not validating it, right? This is part of that owning and going into your heart space. You're no longer doing things for external approval. You're doing things because they feel right for your heart. And that is a huge difference in your motivating factors. It is its own freedom, right? It's this, you're no longer trying to go into china shops when you're a bull, right? You're acknowledging that that's not a place for you. Why do you keep trying to go in there? Okay. I don't know. I don't know with the freaking bull. Okay. Let's go to the singer of transfiguration. Transformation, transcendence, and metamorphosis. The singer of transfiguration tells us that we have been through the gate. We have passed through the initiation process, and we have reached a new way of being, reflecting deep transformation within ourselves. Things will never again be what they once were. Things will never be seen in the same way by us, and this is a good thing. This singer's joyful, passionate, bright blaze of color heralds a time of fulfillment and accomplishment. Right? As with the other singers, the power and joy of this one radiates especially strong to the things being symbolized by the cards around it. Like the reborn, renewed phoenix, this singer is a flame with vibrant, expanded life. There really isn't much I can say about this. Not even the fairies seem to have anything to add. They are just sitting around here smiling blissfully, even old G. Doom, and humming an ethereal and beautiful melody. And the cat in my lap, Sylvie, is purring so loudly it sounds like she is singing, as indeed she is. So are we all. Starter reading. Jackpot! This card in a reading signifies the joy of success after a time of struggle. A new way of life has been accepted and is being integrated. That's another confirmation. That was what was going on in this one, too. A sense of inner peace is growing. The struggle has been all worth it. This is a time of consolidation and joy, and is both a reward for past achievements and a time of preparation for the next climb up the path. Beautiful. Beautiful. So this is why you are here on this earth, chose to be here at this time, to ground in joy and love, to heal the wounds of the past, to retain the wisdom found all up in there, and to become heart-based and to join with other heart-based folk. Other heart-based folk. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, we're already at 53 minutes. Oh my god. They go so fast. Okay, we got one that came out here. The healer. Beautiful confirmation. Yeah. You're healing your heart. And you're doing it. You're healing your ancestral line in both directions. Okay, 25. Where are we? The light worker, the gifted, the old soul. Though some claim the work of the healer as their gift and name it as their dharma, the force of this archetype is within everyone, and it is our natural inclination to remember, to return to, and reclaim that central and eternal life force from which we so easily drift away. In Sanskrit, the word avidya means forgetting, and it is said that this is the source of all suffering and disease. The healer's mission that becomes to move through the comfort of forgetting, through the veils of ignorance and denial, to reveal the radiance that already exists. The healer approaches this in multiple ways, from multiple angles, knowing the cycle of healing is not linear. It is multi-layered and circuitous process, a cyclical process, we'll just call it, always leading back to its own origin, much like the Ouroboros, the snake biting its own tail, the cyclical nature, right? And this is that healing by revisiting, by looking back, by, yes, yes. So this is a confirmation of you choosing to be here, to be one, to heal, because you're healing and you're lifting and you're anchoring. It's all really important work. This is why you're a magician. Okay, 5555 on the timer when I looked up. Okay, when light, self-contained, grateful and awake. When dark, tired, needy, forgetting its own practice. The wounded healer is not someone who was wounded and is now healed. It is someone who continues to courageously break open the self and ego as a means for deep integration. Yes, it's an ongoing work, right? And we are reflected through triggers by other circumstances and people in our life that reveal, right? Like the moon reveals, sheds light upon the areas that we need to work on, that we need to love. The image of the serpent is eternally tied to healing and medicine. Both Western, the Caduceus, and Eastern Kundalini study the serpent and its power. Yeah. Okay. Get some love messages really quickly here. We've got true love. Okay, this is where you're heading. You're only able to create, be in, experience, and acknowledge true love when you are in your heart space. Okay, it starts with you loving who you are at your core, recognizing, loving all the parts of you, going back in from different perspectives in order to find the perspective that you can find and pull and extract the gold from, with, for. Okay, we got a wish coming true. And just like the weights that you remove, you release every time you heal, you start to produce this beautiful energy that starts to move and bring things. You start to be lighter and so flow faster. And you also start to be able to line up to the frequency, right? As we raise our frequency by filling in all our shattered parts through our healing process, we lift ourselves to the frequency where magic is, where miracles happen, where the miraculous is, where true love is, where wishes come true. Okay. More self-care needed. Yeah, this is what it's about. This is how you heal. You heal through self-care. You pick yourself up. You hold yourself. You acknowledge yourself. You choose yourself. And you treat yourself as you would a loved one. And time to rest. Okay? Balance. Balance. It's not all about healing all the time. It's an ongoing process. You do what you can when you can, but make sure you are balancing it with joy, with rest, with respite, is it? With um, playfulness. Be playful. Okay, I think that's long enough. There is the reading for today, and I hope that something came out of the bull in the china shop thing for you. And yeah, this is important work you're here to do. You're doing it, you're engaging in it just with your being, okay? Just with your being in your heart space. So continue doing the work. I see you. And yeah, you're a healer. And the beautiful thing about healing is you can empathize and offer guidance or support to others also healing as we carry and hold and love each other into our future love world. Okay, there you have it. Thank you for being here. Love and appreciate you, and hope to see you next time. Bye for now.